A good friend came to see me at the end of August. With sadness in his face, tears in his eyes, he said to me, "Ted, this is the last time we will see each other." These words came as a total surprise, and I thought to myself, what's going on? Has he been told that he is dying of cancer? Is he planning to leave his wife and 2 young daughters and return to London? No, he had lost his sense of meaning. His life had lost its purpose and goal, and he had a strong feeling, a very strong feeling that he had nothing, absolutely nothing to live for. Unlike other animals, we human beings are constantly striving for meaning. Or as some ancient Greek philosophers like Socrates and Aristotle would have said, the ultimate quest of human beings is to achieve the good life, human flourishing, eudaimonia. And they believed that in order to achieve this goal, each human being must explore his inner world, spirit, daimon. Socrates said to his contemporaries, "Know thyself. Explore your inner world, spirit." Now, spirit is not something that we talk about today. Spirit belongs to the past. Modern science tells us that the building blocks of a human being are about 100 trillion cells. These very small and complicated, unconscious biological agents, of which about 100 billion are neurons, are capable of forming complex networks that perform very, very specific tasks. For example, like seeing and hearing. 100 trillion cells, a fascinating bundle of electrochemical activity, is nothing more than an extremely complicated information processing system. It is capable of collecting, storing, and interpreting information. It's also capable of constructing and symbolizing representations, all in accordance with the laws of nature. There's nothing mysterious about this biological system. There's no such thing as spirit. We need not spend our precious time and energy exploring the so-called spiritual or inner world. Now, this mental outlook has been a dominant force in our culture, Western culture, for some time. It's summed up or captured in the motto of the Enlightenment, "Dare to use your intelligence." The German poet and philosopher Friedrich Schiller, he used the term disenchantment to symbolize the unwillingness of modern Western culture to explore the inner, or what is sometimes called the spiritual world. Now, Schiller was not alone in writing about the movement of disenchantment. The Danish philosopher Kierkegaard, he wrote, "My main thought is that in our age, we have forgotten what it means to be human and what inwardness is all about. He believed that our striving to achieve absolute certainty about the structures and the functionings of the outer world, what is sometimes called the objective world, takes so much of our time and energy that very little is left to explore the inner world, or what is sometimes called the subjective world. And he believed that modern culture is slowly, gradually losing its sense of what it means to live inwardly. And so he wrote, "Knowledge can no longer make my heart glad. A little of it makes me sad. Much makes me melancholic. My soul has lost its potentiality." And he went on, "If I were to wish for anything, I should not wish for wealth or power, but for a passionate sense of the potential, for the eye which ever young and ardent sees the possible." He believed that in order to achieve the good life, human flourishing, certain conditions have to be met. On the one hand, outer conditions such as good, functioning, biological and social structures. And on the other hand, inner conditions such as sense of self, sense of freedom, and sense of responsibility. And he believed that unless we explore these inner conditions, we will not be able to achieve the good life, human flourishing. So, what are these inner conditions? The first is the sense of self, the sense of being a unified whole. Fundamental, complex, and dynamic activities like feeling, thinking, and imagining become totally integrated. Emerging from the interplay of these fundamental activities is a strong sense of being a subject, an I. Now, we all have an experience of I-ness. I-ness is the sense of being myself. It is always I, myself, that experiences something. I, myself, is the center of my inner world. I-ness is being conscious of one's own consciousness. Now, we have no clue how this sense of I-ness, myself, self-consciousness, comes into being. But we all of us, have a sense of being self-conscious. The second is the sense of freedom. The possibility to create one's own world of meaning. Possibility is being able to look into the future and create one's visions of what one would like one's own life to look like. Possibility is also being able to evaluate one's own vision and decide which vision is most realistic. In short, the sense of freedom is being able to say yes or no to life. Past experiences need not determine our future. I believe that we can lift ourselves beyond physical and emotional states. I believe that we can create our future by attributing qualities like purpose and goal to our lives. And a sign that we are moving beyond purely biological urges and social forces. Stepping out into the unknown, uncharted waters, is a strong sense of existential uncertainty, what is sometimes called anxiety. The third is the sense of responsibility, of mindness. It is always the individual who decides what is important and significant in his or her own life. It is the act of giving concrete form to one's yes or no to life. No individual can abdicate from this responsibility. Each individual decides, this is what I, myself, am willing to live and die for. So I believe that in order to achieve the good life, human flourishing, we need to explore the inner life, sense of self, sense of freedom, and sense of responsibility. I believe that we need to take one step beyond the motto, dare to use your intelligence, which has tended to rule out the inner life. I believe that we need to take heed of the motto, dare to become subjective, dare to flourish. Thank you.